Vancouver's newest school is up and running, but before the kids got inside, we got a sneak peek. Find out what makes ITech Preparatory so different than any other school in our area. We'll take a look at these stories and more on today's Snapshot. Welcome to Snapshot. I'm Elena Buller. Today we're taking an in-depth look at the newest and most innovative school in Southwest Washington. It's called Vancouver ITech Preparatory. It's a STEM school with grades 6 through 12. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. In the first year, it only has grades 6, 7, and 9, but it'll fill out in the coming years. The school is broken up into 2 campuses. The middle schoolers are at the Jim Parsley Center. The high schoolers are in the Clark College building on the campus of Washington State University, Vancouver. I went up there just before school started to have a chat with the principal, Christina Eiermonger. She came to ITech Prep after a number of years at Columbia River High School. I asked her about the school's unique approach to learning.
We're project-based learning. That is the foundation of our school. And so what that really means is we're going to provide students very complex, relevant, real-world problems and have them dive deeper into their learning and understanding through those projects. So in other schools, sometimes the projects are an add-on to the content in the curriculum, but that's really the base of our work. So we're really excited about being able to do that.
We were talking a little bit earlier, and you told me it's easy to explain. I think it's a little more tangible when we say what project-based learning is not. Mm-hmm. What is it not?
So if students are learning in a typical classroom, a lot of it is the teacher will deliver the content and they'll have expectations of what the final product should look like. In project-based learning, we'll deliver the standards that we want the students to meet, but it won't necessarily be indicated what exactly that final project will look like. The students will have a lot of creativity and choice and voice in what that project looks like, as long as it meets the standards to demonstrate their content knowledge. This is very different than what happens in a traditional classroom.
It's kind of learning as you go, basically, learning as you do.
Absolutely. So the more they do, the deeper their understanding will be, and we're also going to build their ability to articulate what they understand, and so that will help them retain it longer. So the project-based learning really is the meat and potatoes of what we're going to be doing, and the content will flow into that, and they'll be able to go into as much deep understanding of that content if they choose, or they can do what the standards require of them.
So would that entail maybe each project that the kids are working on, one student or one group might come up with something completely different than another group?
That's what we're hoping and we're expecting. And their creativity will far outreach anything we could expect of them. So we know that we're going to learn a lot from them in what they produce, and if we don't put the lid on that learning, that learning will go really far.
And you are the principal of ITech Prep. So you started out as a teacher, and,
yes.
and why is this type of learning so important, do you think?
Well, I was a science teacher, and in science we're lucky that we get to do a lot of lab experiences. But in a traditional school of which I worked, it's very difficult to get all the other curricular areas to join in on you on a project that you might want to do for your students. Just time and the way that it's structured, it makes it very difficult. So as a science teacher, I started trying to do that individually in my classroom, but it was very difficult. Here, we're going to do that as the entire school. So these will be across content areas, across curricular areas, and our students will get projects that integrate, because everything's integrated. It's not just math class, it's not just science class.
In addition to common projects, the students will also have common workspaces. You're hoping this will facilitate more maybe independent thinking, or just not having the teacher standing right there, or how does that work?
Absolutely. Of course, we'll be monitoring the students, but in a college setting, which we are, there's time where it's very flexible, that you have some time to create in just that more relaxed environment that's separate from what they might see on a daily basis. And so this is just one of the spaces that we can use in that. And we're hoping that it'll allow them to generate more ideas, have a little social time in between. It's just a little bit more relaxed feeling, more like they would experience on a college campus, which they are.
Right, that's fantastic. And also, because you are going to have, sort of your traditional classroom, and you have a laboratory, but then you get to actually utilize the space of a college campus and kind of treat kids with a little bit more, maybe, independence or something like that kind of.
Absolutely. We want to treat our students like learners and we're going to be learners with them. And in able to do that, we have to be able to trust that they're going to use their time wisely. Does it mean they'll always use their time wisely? No, because they're still high school students. But part of learning is how do you manage that time? So if they're given a flexible space, how do they stay productive?
Students at ITech Prep will have the chance to earn college credit while still in high school. They're also learning the skills that will ease their transition into secondary education and the workforce.
So colleges need students that can think and inquire and have analytical skills. Those are all skills that we're going to develop through the projects, through our approach, which is the project-based learning. We also are partnering with the colleges. So we already have interest in we have a GK-12 professor teacher that's going to be working with us. We have a teacher from Carnegie Mellon that is partnering with us as well, and all kinds of partnerships that we're developing so our kids will have access to real people in the STEM fields. And that alone will help them understand what they're going to need when they go out into college or the workforce.
Joining me now to talk more about ITech Prep is the district's Associate Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, Mike Strom. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. I know you were instrumental in planning this school. Why a STEM school? Why was it so important?
Well, the Vancouver Public Schools have had a long-standing tradition of developing programs of choice to meet the needs of many of our students. And when I talk about meeting their needs, I talk about meeting their individual needs. In this case here, we were looking at designing a middle school and high school program that would focus on the particular interests of students in the area of science, math, engineering, technology. But really coupled with that is how students use creativity and design to engage in math and science and engineering and technology, as all of those are integrated subject areas. And I think you probably heard earlier from Christina regarding project-based learning. And much of what they do together with those subject areas is integrated, where students really have the latitude to innovate and create.
And you don't really get that in a traditional school. I mean, to some extent you do, but this is...
I think it's very unique with this environment because they've structured the school day differently. Teachers are interacting differently together and also with students in terms of how they use that time to construct the learning environment. We've certainly used technology as a major component around how they use time in that environment, and that is our one-to-one model that we've focused on. Each of the students at ITech Prep has been assigned a computer. They will have that computer all day long, 24/7.
So they'll take it
home with them, and they will be able to work on coursework that they were working on during the day. They may get an assignment at school that carries over to work at home. They may very well email that assignment back to a teacher. They may work on it, come back to the classroom, engage with their classrooms. They would engage with their classmates
so they're in constant communication, actually.
In constant communication with each other, certainly within that school environment. As they have a wireless environment, they're in constant communication with their teachers regarding particular projects they're working on. It may be subject-based, English-focused today. It may be English, social studies, and history and science in a particular project they're working on.
This all sounds very innovative and expensive. How, in this time of budget constraints, were you able to push forward with the STEM program?
Well, our superintendent, Dr. Webb, and our school board of directors made a commitment. As I said, historically, we've made a commitment to programs of choice. Their commitment to this program is no exception. We were able to appropriate specific funds for this program for the very purpose of embedding technology. When we move students over from other schools, staffing collectively from those schools moves with the students. So we're not necessarily creating new teaching assignments that are additional to the system, but they are teachers and assignments that may have been elsewhere where these students were previously.
Let's talk a little bit about partnerships. We did hear a little bit from Christina, but who are you guys partnered with right now, and how is that going so far?
Well, we're clearly, being on the Washington State University campus, we're focused on our partnership with Washington State University. We have professors up there from the School of Education, certainly other departments in the area of math and science. They'll be involved with our teachers in constructing the learning environments. They'll be directly involved with our students within the project-based learning work that they're doing. We're in the Clark College building on the Washington State University campus, so we also have a partnership that is developing with Clark College. We look to engage with business partners. I think there are going to be great opportunities for our businesses and leaders in businesses to be working with our students, so that when we have students working within projects, partners can be working with students to create
kind of real world situations.
Create a real world, authentic environment whereby a student sees it, they're working the problems that the real world environment would work, and they may very well certainly have the opportunity to be in that business environment. And it's our plan that they're in that business environment before they leave high school. So they'll have that real world experience coupled with the academic experience within ITech Preparatory.
Let's talk a little bit about the long-term goal for ITech Prep. Where are you guys looking?
Well, presently we wanted to start small, and as you, I think, already know, we started with 66th graders and 67th graders, and we have 90 ninth graders. So the following year, we will grow into the 8th grade and then into the 10th grade. So that in 4 years, we have a comprehensive school program, grades 6 through 12, 7 grades, and in 4 years, we'll graduate our first group of ITech Prep students.
And then eventually down the line, you're looking to merge the two campuses?
I think right now, yes, our focus is on 2 campuses, and because that's where we have the space to run the program and grow. And I think long term, we're certainly investigating, and we'll be looking at opportunity to have all of these students on the same campus, but that will be a few years down the road.
Down the road. The lottery, you had a lottery system to get in. That's pretty unique, something new, something different. Can you tell us a little bit about how it worked and how you kind of got your own snapshot of the community, the district, in this school?
Sure. The lottery system was unique this year. It was the first time that we've used it for entrance into a magnet program. We know that there are 11,155 students as of last fall who are on the secondary level, so grades 6 through 12. So what we did is we looked at the entire district and broke it into zip code regions. And we know that all of those students are represented in each of those zip code regions by a percentage. So we selected the percentage of students at each grade level that was commensurate with the number of students that were in a particular zip code region, so that we had an equitable distribution of students and equitable access to the ITech Preparatory program from throughout the entire district.
So it wasn't a straight lottery, it wasn't just like pick out of a hat type deal?
It was a lottery to the degree that we knew we would select a percentage of students from a particular zip code region.
Okay, great, yeah. Mike, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck with the new school, and we'll check in with you down the road and see how things are going.
Well, thank you for allowing me to share what we're doing at ITech
Prep. We want to give you a quick update now. In our last episode, we spoke to the Foundation for Vancouver Public Schools about a $100,000 grant to the school district. The money went to support the Jumpstart program at 6 elementary schools. Kindergarten students came in 4 weeks before the first day of school to start their academic careers early. Teachers we spoke with say the extra time was incredibly valuable for their students. You can see more on the Jumpstart program in the current episode of In the Know. That's the district's official newscast. It's on Comcast Channel 28 and on the district YouTube page. We're just about out of time. We want to thank Christina Armonger and Mike Strom for joining us today, and you for watching. I'm Elena Buller. We'll see you next time on Snapshot.